What's up, guys? Today, we're breaking down 7 used cars you better stay away from in 2025. These rides look tempting on Marketplace, but trust me, they'll drain your wallet faster than a Vegas weekend. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with your guess on the list. Number 7, Jeep Grand Cherokee 2011 to 2014. Let's start this list with a big name that a lot of people love on paper, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Sounds cool, looks tough, feels like a boss ride. But if you're thinking of grabbing one from the 2011 to 2014 years, you might want to keep your wallet locked up, because this SUV is like dating someone who looks amazing in pictures but brings nothing but drama into your life. The first nightmare? Electrical problems. These Jeeps are famous for something called the tips, which is basically the brain that controls everything: windows, locks, fuel pump, lights. When it fails, and it does, your Jeep might not start, your lights might flicker, or your fuel pump might just die out of nowhere. Owners call it the totally idiotic power module for a reason. Then comes the oil consumption issue. The 3.6-liter V6 Pentastar engine is known to burn oil like crazy. We're talking top-offs every 1,000 miles. If you don't baby it and keep checking that dipstick, you're risking serious damage. Some owners even report overheating and blown head gaskets, stuff that'll make you wish you just bought a Toyota instead. And don't think the transmission is innocent. A lot of these models have jerky shifts, slipping gears, and delayed engagement. Not exactly what you want when you're merging onto the highway. Add in suspension issues, transfer case problems, and expensive 4WD repairs, and suddenly that cheap Jeep on Facebook Marketplace looks like a money pit. Even the air suspension system can go bad, and when it does, the Jeep can literally sag down like it's begging for mercy. Repairs on that aren't cheap. Think 4 figures. To make it worse, these years had a bunch of recalls: fuel pump relays that left people stranded, funky shifters that made the Jeep roll away even when you thought it was in park. It's the kind of stuff that makes you lose trust real quick. Here's the kicker. Average prices for these in 2025 hover around $7,000 to $10,000, depending on mileage. Sounds tempting, right? But just one major repair, say a transmission or an air suspension failure, can easily cost half the value of the car. Bottom line, the 2011 to 2014 Grand Cherokee might look rugged and luxurious, but in reality, it's like buying a used iPhone with a cracked screen and water damage. It'll work for a bit, but sooner or later, it's going to drain your patience and your bank account. Number 6, Fiat 500L, 2014 to 2016. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to own a car that loses value faster than a used mattress, say hello to the Fiat 500L. On paper, it's a funky little Italian family hauler. Quirky design, plenty of glass, cool Euro vibe. But in reality, this thing's a rolling headache dressed like a cappuccino. Let's start with the big one: electrical gremlins. The 500L is stuffed with cheap wiring and sensors that love to fail. Owners complain about windows that won't go up, radios that cut out, warning lights that pop up like a Christmas tree, and dead batteries out of nowhere. You know it's bad when you carry jumper cables everywhere just to feel safe. Then there's the transmission disaster. Fiat decided to bless this car with a dual-clutch automatic that's about as smooth as driving a manual with a broken ankle. Jerky starts, hesitation, weird lurching in traffic. It's like the car is learning how to drive along with you. And when it breaks, which it will, replacement costs are ridiculous. Comfort? Not really. Despite looking roomy, the driving position feels awkward, and the ride is about as refined as sitting on a park bench with roller skates strapped underneath. Plus, interior quality is cheap. Plastic everywhere, buttons that feel like they came out of a dollar store toy, and rattles that make you think the whole dashboard is about to fall apart. And let's not forget depreciation. This thing falls in value like it's in free fall. Buy one today for, say, $6,000, and it'll probably be worth half that before you even finish your first oil change. Seriously, if you put Fiat 500L for sale on Facebook Marketplace, you'll get more laughs than offers. Now, there are people who defend it, saying it's unique and fun. Yeah, unique like a bad tattoo, and fun in the way a jack-in-the-box is fun the first time until it scares the crap out of you every time it pops. Bottom line, the Fiat 500L is a prime example of why Fiat didn't exactly conquer the US market. If you buy one, you'll get more problems than personality. Unless you're a mechanic with a sense of humor, just walk away. Number 5. Ford Focus 2012 to 2016 PowerShift. Now, the Ford Focus is one of those cars that tricks you. It looks like a solid choice, good MPG, affordable, fun to drive when it behaves. But if you buy a 2012 to 2016 model with the infamous PowerShift automatic transmission, congratulations, you just signed up for one of the most frustrating ownership experiences in modern car history. The PowerShift was Ford's attempt at a fancy dual clutch system, but instead of German engineering magic, they basically gave us a transmission that drives like a nervous teenager learning stick for the first time. Shudders, jerks, slipping gears. It feels like the car is constantly confused about whether it wants to go forward, backward, or just sit there and cry. Owners complained so much that Ford actually faced lawsuits and had to extend warranties. That's how bad it was. And even with those warranty fixes, a lot of cars never truly got better. Buying one today is like playing the lottery. Maybe the last owner babied it, or maybe you're about to inherit a gearbox that needs thousands of dollars in repairs. It's not just the transmission, though. Electrical issues pop up, clutches wear out way too early, and software updates don't always fix the driving problems. Some people report being scared to pull into traffic because the car hesitates so badly. It's like flooring the gas and getting a maybe later response. The sad part, the Focus itself is actually a fun little car when paired with a manual transmission. But the automatic versions ruined the reputation. You'll find these things all over Facebook Marketplace for around $5,000 to $7,000, and sellers will swear, "Oh, the transmission was already fixed." Yeah, sure, buddy, until it breaks again. Bottom line, if you're hunting for a cheap daily driver, the PowerShift Focus is the kind of car that'll make you miss your old beater Honda. Unless you really love gambling with repair bills, avoid it. Or, if you really want to focus, do yourself a favor. Get the stick shift. Number 4, Chevrolet Equinox, 2010-2013, 2.4-liter. On the surface, the Chevy Equinox looks like a great deal. It's a roomy, compact SUV, American brand, parts should be easy to find. Sounds perfect, right? Well, not if you're looking at one of the 2010-2013 models with the 2.4-liter engine. These things are known for one ugly problem. They drink oil like a frat boy drinks cheap beer. We're not talking about check the dipstick every few months. We're talking about adding a quart every 1,000 miles or less. Some owners report running completely dry between oil changes, which obviously leads to bigger disasters like blown timing chains, destroyed pistons, or even total engine failure. The oil consumption problem got so bad that there were class action lawsuits against GM. Then there's the timing chain issue. When that stretches or slips, usually because the engine's been starving for oil, you're looking at a bill that can run into the thousands. Not exactly what you want when you just paid maybe $6,000 for the SUV in the first place. Other fun surprises include carbon buildup, failing PCV systems, and rough idling that makes the Equinox feel way older than it really is. The transmission isn't bulletproof either, but compared to the engine, that's the least of your worries. And let's talk resale value. These Equinoxes are everywhere on Craigslist and Marketplace, usually with ads that say something like, "Runs great, just needs a little oil between changes." Translation, the motor's already on its last legs, and the seller's hoping you won't notice. Average prices today, around $5,000 to $8,000 depending on miles. But here's the trap. You'll spend that same amount keeping the engine alive if you get a bad one. Bottom line, the 2010-2013 Equinox with the 2.4L looks like a budget-friendly family SUV, but it's really just a ticking time bomb under the hood. Unless you're ready to keep oil quarts in the trunk like cases of water, skip it and look for literally anything else.
Number 3. Chrysler 200, 2011 to 2014. If there was ever a car that defined the phrase, looks good in the ad, nightmare in the driveway, it's the Chrysler 200. These 2011 to 2014 models were Chrysler's attempt to compete with Camrys and Accords, but instead of being a reliable family sedan, they turned into a national punchline. Let's start with the transmission. Chrysler stuffed this car with a 4-speed automatic in some trims and a shaky 6-speed in others. Both are clunky, unrefined, and prone to failure. Shifting feels awkward, slipping is common, and repairs? They'll cost more than the car's worth if it really goes south. Then there's the electrical system. Random warning lights, stalling, dead batteries, and all kinds of gremlins have been reported. You never really know if your Chrysler 200 is going to start in the morning or just sit in the driveway like an overpriced lawn ornament. Performance? Let's be real, it's weak. The base 4-cylinder is underpowered and sounds like it's struggling just to keep up with traffic. Floor it and you'll swear Grandma's Buick could dust you going uphill. The optional V6 gives it some muscle, but reliability doesn't exactly improve with that upgrade. Comfort? Not great either. The suspension is rough, interior quality is bargain bin level, and the cabin feels outdated even when it was new. Lots of cheap plastics, rattles, and seats that make long drives feel like a punishment. And here's the kicker. Fuel economy. For a sedan that's supposed to be economical, this thing burns gas like it's trying to be a muscle car, but without giving you any of the fun. Owners constantly complain that the real-world MPG never comes close to what Chrysler promised. Prices today hover around $4,000 to $6,000, which might sound tempting for a mid-size sedan. But you gotta ask yourself, do you want to save money on the purchase only to throw thousands into repairs and watch it sit at the mechanic every other month? Bottom line, the Chrysler 200 was supposed to bring Chrysler back into the game. Instead, it became a rolling meme. If you're shopping for a used sedan, there are plenty of better choices out there. This one, put it on your do not touch list.
Number 2. Dodge Journey, 2010 to 2015. The Dodge Journey is one of those SUVs that looks like a bargain on Marketplace. 3 rows, plenty of space, all for under $7,000. Sounds like a steal, right? Wrong. This thing is basically a rolling money pit. First problem, the engines. The base 2.4-liter 4-cylinder is painfully underpowered. We're talking slower than Grandma's Buick owing uphill. And even though the V6 has more pep, it doesn't save you from the reliability issues that plague these things. Then comes the transmission. Owners constantly complain about rough shifting, slipping, and early failures. Driving one feels more like pulling a rubber band than shifting gears. Electrical issues? Oh yeah. Dead batteries, random check engine lights, windows that stop working. It's like Dodge wired this SUV with Christmas lights from Walmart. And here's the kicker. For something this slow, it's not even fuel efficient. Mid-20s MPG at best, which means you get sluggish performance and bad gas mileage. Used prices are tempting, around $4,000 to $7,000, but don't get fooled. Sellers will pitch it as the perfect family SUV. Translation, they're trying to get rid of it before the next big repair bill lands. Bottom line, the Dodge Journey gives you space on the cheap, but it'll nickel and dive you until you regret every mile. If you really want a budget SUV, keep looking. This one's a trap. Number 1. Nissan Rogue 2013 to 2015 CVT. Topping our list is the Nissan Rogue, and it's all thanks to one word, CVT. Nissan's continuously variable transmission is infamous for failing way earlier than it should. Owners report whining noises, jerky acceleration, overheating, and eventually total failure, sometimes before hitting 100K miles. Sure, the Rogue looks like a practical compact SUV, good size, decent interior, affordable price. But that CVT turns it into a ticking time bomb. Replacing one? You're looking at $3,500 to $4,500, which is insane when the whole SUV might only be worth $6,000, $8,000 today. And it's not just the transmission.
Complaints about weak air conditioning, electrical glitches, and cheap interior quality make the ownership experience feel bargain bin. Bottom line, the Rogue is the kind of SUV that seems like a smart buy for families, but in reality, it'll leave you stranded and broke. Unless you enjoy gambling with transmissions, avoid it and spend your money on something that'll actually last. And that's the list, guys. 7 used cars that look like a deal, but will drain your wallet in 2025. Would you risk buying any of these or stay far, far away? Drop a comment with the car that shocked you most. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more real talk on cars.